Hi everyone, welcome back. This is week 58 of my social isolation get ready with me's. This week I realized that I had been sent a turquoise mascara by Quo. I just thought this was turquoise packaging, and then I happened to open it one day and noticed that the mascara is actually turquoise. So I want to do something with that. And the palette that I pulled out to work with that is the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette. This came out quite a few years ago, you know, back in the day when they actually used to do these 9-pan palettes. And I thought this turquoise down here was gonna work with the mascara. So we're gonna do something with this palette and that pretty colorful mascara. Also, I have to laugh because I put extensions into my ponytail just to make it a little bit thicker, you know, for camera. But I haven't had a haircut in so long that my hair extensions are actually shorter than my own hair. Like, this is my own hair down here. You can tell where the extensions stop because it's like thicker up there, and then my own hair is like grown past them. So week 58, and I am nowhere closer to getting a vaccine. The launch, man, I keep complaining about it. The launch in Toronto has just been garbage. We were supposed to be able to sign up for them. I don't know, it was like Thursday one day, and then it was Friday at noon another day, and every time I've been to that website, the queue is like 10 hours long, like ridiculous. So, I mean, I just hope that there's people out there getting vaccines, but we can't seem to get ours anytime soon. There's this horrible thing too where people are saying, well, call every pharmacy in your area and get yourself put on a list. That seems really extreme. Like, we should not have to be calling every freaking pharmacy to find out if they've got a vaccine. Like, just have one localized list. Ugh. I feel kind of shitty that I'm complaining about that because, I mean, at least there are vaccines that are available in my area. Well, sort of. It feels like the supply is too small for the demand. But, like, it just feels ridiculous that we should have to call so many places to find out if they have one and be put on a list for it. I don't know, like, I've got a friend in BC, and they opened up his age group, and he was able to just, like, sign up, and then they will call you when they have a vaccine available. Versus here in Toronto, it's like the Wild West. Like, I have no idea when I'm gonna get this thing. I can't even get on a list to get a vaccine. Like, ugh. So I want to keep the upper half of this lid fairly neutral / boring because I really want to put the turquoise stuff on the lower lash line and have that really pop. But I remember thinking that the brown in here, Malted Milk Ball, is really trash in this palette. So I might have to use Blackberry instead. We're gonna start with Blackberry and see where it takes us. So I'm gonna use this as a crease color. Just got a fluffy brush and just whack that on. That is really sticking in place. For the lid, I'm gonna take Strawberry Ice. So I almost mentioned this last week, but I didn't because I knew a certain reaction would happen if I mentioned it. I was gonna say, I can tell that I've been running a lot recently because my period was so late this month. And I knew that if I brought that up, people were gonna be like, you're pregnant. No, I'm not pregnant. So I waited until I actually got my period so I could mention it. But the point of telling this story was that I always know when I've been running more because it affects when I get my period so much. Like, as soon as I go back to regular distance running, it like pushes my period off by like a good week. And sure enough, I got my period like about 6 days late this month. And again, didn't mention it last week because I knew somebody was gonna be like, yeah, you're pregnant. No. But it's a good thing, I feel, when it happens because it makes me realize that I'm putting my body through physical stress, which I enjoy. And it just means I'm getting back into a routine of running, which makes me very happy. But yeah, it's funny what it really does to my system in terms of my period, because like if I run a half marathon, even if I've been training for it, it usually pushes my period off by like a whole 2 weeks. Like, and it's routine. Like, this happens pretty regularly whenever I've been long distance running. Remember the first few times, like years and years ago, I was like, this seems really strange. But then like it just became part of my bodily function, I guess. Okay, so for the outer corner, I think I'm going to try using Malted Milk Ball. I think. Yeah, I'm going to put some right in there just to see how it goes. From what I remember, this thing is just like flaky and garbage. Yeah, it's not really sticking. A little bit, but the fallout's intense. That just looks like messy now. Ugh. I'm gonna go back in with Blackberry and just like kind of layer it on top of the brown because I'm not really loving how it's looking. That's a bit better. That's how much fallout was on my face from that brown. That's ridiculous. For my brow bone highlight shade, I'm just going to be taking Rock Candy over here. This is in the era when they were doing the 9-pan palettes, when like the big chunky ones were all like really similar colors. It's kind of annoying. Ooh, that is bright. Okay. Okay, now for the fun part. I'm going to be working in this turquoise mascara, but first I'm going to start with a waterline liner. I'm using the NYX Off Tropic Pro Liner in the shade So Fresh. Then I'm going in with Blue Raspberry here, and I'm going to use that along the lash line. Shoot, I was gonna skip straight to mascara at this point, but I can't because I gotta do my winged liner, so Physicians Formula Eye Booster. Okay, liner's on. For the mascara on my upper lashes, I'm gonna be using the Quo Pump Up the Volume mascara. And this one's just a black. And now for the fun part, I'm gonna take that actually, it's a Pump Up the Volume mascara as well. This one's just in like a teal color. And put that on my lower lashes. Ooh, this formula feels drier. Like just pulling it out of the tube. That's so funny. You can barely see it because of the waterline color in the eyeshadow. Well, it's definitely on, and it coated my lashes just fine, but I feel like it's very difficult to actually see that my lashes are turquoise. For the inner corner of the eye, I want to add a little bit of sparkle, so I'm going to go in with this Tarte Moonwalk Treasure Pot, which is basically just like a glitter gel. Oh, so pretty. And I'm just taking a very small brush, dipping into the pot, and then putting it on the inner corner. Ooh, this is starting to dry up a little bit. These gel things never like retain their moisture for very long. Like it's like all of the liquid goo in the middle of it is just kind of evaporating. Okay, eyes are done. Let's move on to the face. I'm just using the CYO Lifeproof foundation that I used last week in the shade 102. Totally forgot to wet my beauty blender, so I'm using my favorite foundation brush when I don't have a wet beauty blender on hand. It's the Quo HD foundation brush. Ooh, that is starting to look pretty pale on me. It has to be all that running. I'm starting to actually get some color on my face. Soon I'm gonna have to start wearing sunscreen. Although it's so funny, this past week was fairly warm, but we had 2 snow days. Like out of nowhere it just started snowing, which is pretty typical in Toronto for April. Everybody's always like, oh, it's springtime already. I'm like, no, wait, there's always that 1 or 2 day in April where we get snow. And sure enough, it happened. Yeah, because my freckles are starting to come back a little bit in there. I love my freckles. I never understood why people tried to hide them back in the day. Like I know like freckles are like coming back in style or whatever it is, which is weird because it's just part of your face. But people always wanted to like hide their freckles back in the like late 90s, early zeros, I don't know. And I was always like, but I really like my freckles. I think they're cute. I mean, I realize I'm covering them with foundation right now, but unless I go like spackle them on top, like what else am I gonna do? And I don't generally actually wear a lot of foundation in my day-to-day. Usually I just put makeup on and skip the foundation. Like that's the one step I tend to skip the most. Like I'll still put bronzer and blush and highlighter and all that on, but I just put it on top of my bare face. It's funny how I've picked up doing foundation more just because I'm on camera. It does tend to look smoother and all that kind of stuff, but I like my bare face with its freckles. I always wonder how people with darker hair deal with like getting foundation in their hair. Like if you're like my skin tone but you've got like dark hair, do you have to be like worried about it? Because for me it basically just like blends in essentially. I never really think about it unless I get like a huge glob or something, but like just thought of that right now. For bronzer, I pulled out my Too Faced Unicorn Tears bronzer just because it's a little bit cooler toned and I think it'll go with the eyes. It does have a hint of like iridescent blue that kind of comes across in the product, but I quite like it. It also has that chocolate smell to it too, so you know, I'm sold on it. Oh, it smells so good. It just poofs in the air. I'm like, ah. Okay, for blush, I'm using one of the old BECCA ones that I'm pretty sure they've long since discontinued. This one is a Flowerchild. I see BECCA still advertising their products, but hasn't the company like gone under or is closing? Maybe they're just trying to get rid of all their stock, I guess. And then for highlighter, I'm going in with my ABH Gleam Glow Kit. And I think I'm going to take Crushed Pearl. Not used this in a while. Oh, it's pretty though. Okay, that's face done, which means I have to do my brows. I'll do those and I'll come back and we'll do the lips. Okay, so for lips, I pulled out this Kaylin Art Touch Tinted Lip Gloss, but I didn't realize how cool tone this whole look was going to be, so I'm going to put it on and we'll see how it looks, but I might change up what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, nah, that's way too warm tone. Just a second, I gotta go get something else. Okay, I grabbed Bite Beauty's Power Move Creamy Matte Lip Crayon in the shade Cava, because I think that's gonna work. Yeah, that's a much better tone. Honestly, that matches the eyeshadow so perfectly. Okay, so that is the finished look. I'm really pleased with how the lip color now matches the eyes because the other one was just coming across a little bit too orange. Okay, Too Faced Sugar Pop palette. Haven't used this in probably years at this point. Forgot how much I actually really enjoy it. The only color that really like sucks in here is that Malted Milk Ball. It's a shimmery brown and it's flaky, it falls out and it's just garbage. But the rest of this palette is a lot of fun to play with. The liner look with the turquoise mascara, I really like how that looks, but I'm not sure how much you can actually tell that I use a turquoise mascara. You know, like it's just kind of like a lot of eyeliner and shadow that's really coming across. I will say I love the color of this mascara. I think it's really pretty, but it's so much drier than the black mascara of like the same formula. Fun to play with, but I'm not sure it's something that I would wear continuously. Like I just wouldn't wear colorful mascara on my upper lashes because I prefer black there, but it was fun to put it on the lower lash line. Anyway, that's it for week 58. Thanks so much for joining me again. Take care, stay safe, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.